Today, I'm going to teach you how to build a direct booking machine with meta ads, which is just Facebook and Instagram ads. Just a little foreshadowing. It's only 7 steps. If you don't know who I am, I'm Scott Quinnell. I own a direct booking marketing agency. I literally do this stuff for a living. And the process I'm going to teach you today is the same process I've used and my team has used to drive almost $65,000 in additional revenue within 45 days, 100% increase in Instagram followers within the first 30, 11x increase in the first 90 with Instagram followers. We have been featured in 2 magazines. We have made a 3-to-1 return on ad spend within the first month 3 times in a row. 60% of last month's bookings for a client came from social media. Last year it was 0%. This is the same process I've used to drive 10 million plus lifetime views and also get a 100% plus increase in revenue for a nature hotel in Pennsylvania, a 7x return on ad spend for another in Texas. And we even used parts of this process, actually, if not the whole thing, to generate $63,000 for a client before they even booked or before they even opened using a pre-booking strategy. In order to build a direct booking marketing machine with meta ads, you need to follow these 7 steps. Step 1, identify your perfect guest, set a budget, get attention, create a lead generator, send emails, run meta ads, and work with influencers. That's what I'm going to talk about the rest of this video. So let's dive into step 1. How to identify your one customer. Well, there are 2 ways to pick your avatar. Avatar being your customer, your perfect customer, the ones that you want more of. You can go with option number 1, and chances are your perfect guest, the people that you want more of, is you. So ask yourself this: what drew you to the property at first? Did you love the outdoors? Did you love the surrounding area? Was it a perfect getaway for your family? Was it a perfect getaway for you and your sweetie? Whatever that reason, just write it down. If you don't have an answer for that question, you can also read reviews. And reviews can be a dead giveaway, especially if you have quite a few of them. People will use keywords like stayed with my family. This was the perfect family retreat. I stayed here with my sweetie. I stayed here with my husband, wife, partner, because this was the perfect couples getaway. And if you can't come up with anything for option number 1, you can pick one of my favorites that we have trialed and tested throughout the agency. My favorites are couples, families, and niche ideas. Diving a little bit deeper into the niche ideas example, wellness stays, which is obviously booming right now, or you can go thematic. So you can go Christmas, Hobbit, Star Wars. I've seen all 3 of those. I've seen like princess houses. I've seen a lot of fun and some weird ones. But if it makes sense for your stay, couples are a good avatar to start with. Families, I'd give second place. Okay. Now that you've identified your avatar, you need to set a budget. I don't have a framework for this. I just have a simple answer, and I'm just going to give you that simple answer so we can blow through this. So the question you may have asked yourself before, or may ask yourself right now as you started watching this video, is how much should I spend on marketing? Well, it depends. You can either do 10 to 25% of your profit, or you can do 10% of revenue. Whether it's profit or revenue depends on your financial situation. Obviously, we all have different P&L statements, especially if you have a property manager. You have less revenue to work with, whereas if you were to manage it on your own. With my company, I do 10% of revenue because I like marketing, and it's literally just up to you. Okay, now that you've identified your avatar and you've set a budget, we need to get thousands of people to give us attention. And so you're not going to, let me tell you what not to do. You're not going to create social media videos about your house, kind of like HGTV or House Hunters or any of those places. It's not going to sell. What does sell is the experience. And what I mean by that is you don't want to show the grill. You don't want to just walk past the grill with a camera. You want to show an actor making a healthy barbecue dinner. Same thing goes with a beach. You don't want to show a beach. You want to show an actor taking in the sun near their Airbnb for the weekend. And nobody really wants to show a fire pit. People know what fire looks like. What they want to see is people enjoying s'mores and laughter under the stars. That's the stuff you want to show. Just to rehash this again, the stay, the amenities, the specs like square footage and all that stuff, that doesn't sell. You're not selling a house on Zillow. What does sell is the idea of living a perfect life. And so that's what you want to show in your content. And that's how to get attention on social media. There are 2 shots you want to get in order to create great social media videos. Shot type number 1 is standalone videos of your property. Shot type number 2 is people experiencing the stay, again, in the most desirable way possible. I'm not going to dive, that's a little bit longer. I'm not going to dive into that right now, but I will in a few minutes. But let me keep going to complete the 7 steps. Okay, you have identified your perfect avatar. You have set a budget. You've now figured out how not to get attention on social media, because what you're going to do now is capture people living the most desirable life possible. Now we need to capture that attention. You have all this attention coming to you, coming to your website. We need to capture this attention so we can communicate with these people for a longer period of time. We're going to do that with lead generators. Most guests that come to your website are not going to be ready to book yet. And the best way to sell them over time is email. And the best way to build an email list is through lead magnets. First, what is a lead magnet? It is a place where you exchange a thing for somebody's email address, for their contact information. A bad one is a mysterious box that says subscribe for updates. And a lot of rental operators have this one. Should get rid of it. A lot of rental operators also have subscribe to our newsletter. No, I don't want to. I don't necessarily need more information. I want an incentive. And then the worst one I've seen is an opt-in for some unknown email list, similar to the newsletter. Instead, they just call it email list. Good lead magnets are discount giveaways, experience add-ons, voucher to a nearby restaurant, and gift cards. What does a discount giveaway look like? Essentially, for somebody's email address, you're willing to offer a dollar amount off your nightly rate in exchange for their email address, for their contact information. I like dollar amounts, so rather than saying 20%, I would instead say $20, or $50, because percents make people subconsciously do math in their head, and nobody likes to do that. Nobody wants to do work, especially mental work. So I recommend offering a dollar amount instead of a percentage amount. Now, another option you could do is experience add-ons. So in exchange for somebody's email address, you give away a bundle of firewood and a s'mores kit, which works really well for glamping or camping. You could do a spa bundle. Maybe you're near a spa in the local town and you're buddy with the owner. You could give away some sort of coupon or free session to that spa. You could also give away merch or a personalized guide for things to do in the area. For example, one that I have seen that I love is the rental operator, the one that owned the house, figured out that their niche was fishermen. People were coming to the area to fish, and so they gave away their best fishing spots, their 10 best fishing spots, which I thought was brilliant because otherwise that saves their guests loads of time and research and trial and error. Talking about a voucher to a nearby restaurant, it's kind of the same thing as a spa. If you're buddy with the owner of a nearby restaurant, or you're just a local, ask the owner of the restaurant if they'd be willing to give away a $20 to $50 voucher to future guests in exchange for that guest's email address. And then gift cards, very similar to offering a discount, but it feels more tangible. So same thing, offer a dollar amount. I actually don't think you can offer a percentage amount, but offer a dollar amount gift card to your stay. For most gift card platforms, it will actually deliver them like a confirmation email. So it feels more tangible, and guests tend to like this route. I will say this, if you don't have a way to get leads on your website, you're missing out. Because most people, especially coming from an ad or especially coming from social media, are not ready to book. right away. They want to take that micro step towards completing the booking. But if the only two options you give them on your website is book or leave, they're not going to book. And so they'll leave and likely never come back again. So give them that third option so you can stay in communication, so you can stay in touch, rather than lose this potential customer that would have booked down the road. All right, well, now that you're getting all these email addresses, you need to do something with them. And that's by using the most transactional marketing channel, what I believe is in the world, which is email. So over a month's time, you're going to send 2 emails talking about the best dates to book, things to do, upcoming deals and promotions that you're running, that your hotel is running, that your Airbnb is running. And you want to make sure that in your emails, you paint the email with photos, because that's what caught the guest's attention in the first place. The email should be written as if you are writing to a friend. Ditch the corporate lingo. People are over that stuff. Ditch the corporate lingo, ditch the all buttoned up talk, unless, it's part of your brand, and speak to them as if you're just writing to a friend, because booking a vacation, booking a getaway should not be a buttoned up experience. It should be fun and casual. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to run meta ads for bookings. So what you just learned is you've identified your avatar, which is going to be super helpful in this step. You've set a budget. Step 3 is obviously I remember. Step 3 is you figured out which type of content gets attention. You've set up your lead magnet so people have a third option instead of leaving your website and never coming back. And now you figured out what to do with all those leads as they start to come in. AKA, you have your direct booking machine set up. Now you just need people to go through it. And meta ads is the best way to do that. And I'll explain why right now. There are 3 ways to structure a Facebook ads campaign: Facebook ads, Instagram ads, meta ads, and that's brand awareness, purchase, or both. If you don't have any data on your guests, so if in step 1 you've identified your avatar as couples, and you have no data on where these couples are coming from, what part of the stay, what part of your stay that they love, you have to choose this one, because you have a lot of unanswered questions that only data can answer. And a brand awareness campaign is the quickest and cheapest way to do that. With a brand awareness campaign, monitor your followers and monitor your leads. Just like what you learned a couple of minutes ago, the leads is where you're going to sell the booking, because people coming from a brand awareness campaign who don't know you and have never seen you before are going to need to be sold, and you're going to sell them through email. Another campaign setup option that you have is a purchase campaign. So if you run a campground or a glamping area, or if you're in a popular area, or you have a hotel again in a popular area, you're going to want to go with a purchase campaign, because you are familiar. And I'll explain this with a paradigm shift. If I had a mansion in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire, I would not choose a purchase campaign, because not that many people book mansions, and not that many people go to the middle of New Hampshire just on a whim. I say this to say the concept is unfamiliar and requires more touch points. These people need to be sold on why they need to choose you over a time horizon. But if I had a smaller cottage, 2 bedrooms, near Acadia National Park, where 3.9 million people go every single year, I would go for a purchase campaign, because Acadia is very familiar. A 2-bedroom cottage is the most popular book type of stay. And I say all this to say purchase ads just through Meta in general are very expensive to run. You're competing against everybody else that wants to make money from people who have bought stuff in the past. That's how it works. So how a purchase campaign is set up is it gauges the amount of people that have bought stuff. And so if you choose purchase campaign for your setup, you're going after the people who have bought stuff in the past, which is far smaller than the number of people who are just interested in buying stuff in general. And so if you're not making money off a purchase campaign due to how competitive it is, you'll rack up quite a bill and you won't make any money back. that's why I took the time to explain option 2 and how a purchase campaign is set up. And then obviously there are hybrids to everything. And most of our clients in the agency are in this situation. So if your stay type is familiar, maybe you have a seaside cottage, or you run a glamping operation or a camping operation or a nature resort, but you're kind of off the beaten path, do something like this. 50% of your budget should go to miscellaneous brand awareness tactics, and 50% of your budget should go to purchase tactics. After 2 to 3 months of running both, if most bookings are coming from one campaign compared to the other, flip your budget, do the 80-20 rule, or even 90-10. So for example, if most of your bookings are coming from your email list or social following, invest more into your brand awareness campaign. But if most of your bookings are coming in from the purchase campaign, invest more into the purchase campaign. If you are staring at the screen and you have no idea where to start, let me tell you. If your stay is under $450 a night during peak season, so the most expensive it will get is still under $450 a night, and you're within 30 minutes of something popular, try going straight for the purchase campaign. It should work for you. And if that's not you, start with brand awareness or both. Collect the data, and let the meta ads algorithm work for you rather than try to, work against it. Okay. You've got most of your direct booking marketing machine rocking and rolling. So you've identified your avatar. You got the crosshairs right on them. You set your budget. You know what posts get attention. You have your lead magnet so people can take a micro step towards completing their goal, which is booking with you. You know what types of emails to send, and you know how often to send them, 2 times a month or so. And now you know how to run meta ads. The last thing you need to do is throw gasoline on this fire that you've created. And you're going to do that by partnering with niche specific influencers to grow faster than you might be comfortable with. This is very quick. A lot of people treat influencer marketing as some like gamble, I don't know, throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. It's not that complicated. Really what you need to do and keep in the back of your head, or maybe even write down, is just work with influencers whose followers are similar to yours. And so what does that mean? If an influencer goes to restaurants and also Airbnbs, that means their followers are interested in hospitality. You are also hospitality, especially if they're going to Airbnbs. I mean, that's right up your alley. So you want to go after those types of influencers. Before you do, you want to know these golden metrics. Make sure each influencer has over 10,000 followers. Otherwise, you're not going to get that much punch out of it. And you want to make sure that their engagement rate is 2 to 4%. Engagement rate is, let's say a post gets 1,000 impressions is the metric, but let's just simplify it even more and call it views. Let's say a post gets 1,000 views, and it gets, doing math, 100 engagements, which is likes, comments, shares, follows, just any sort of action. The engagement rate at that point is 10%. So that's how engagement rate is calculated. I will warn you, make sure to use Modash before you hire anybody or schedule anybody to come visit, because a lot of influencers use fake followers. And you don't, if you get somebody on site who has 10,000 followers, but 6,000 of them are fake, only 4,000 of them are real. But as a rule of thumb, if you're working with somebody and they have like 25,000 followers and half of them are fake, that's still 12,500 real people. So that still beats your golden metric, your baseline that I mentioned. The creators you partner with don't need to be focused just on Airbnbs and hotels, but if 3 out of 10 posts are from an Airbnb, you're totally safe. They do need to be focused on local hospitality. Again, make sure that they're showing like things to do in a market, restaurants in a market, or you know, you've won the lottery if you found one that just focuses on Airbnbs. All right, let's recap over the last, I think I've been blabbing on for about 20 minutes. This is how to build a direct booking machine with meta ads. You're going to identify your one customer. You're going to set a budget, 10% of revenue or 10 to 25% of profit. You're going to get thousands of people to give you attention by creating videos that don't look like HGTV. You're going to capture that attention with lead generators. Then you're going to use the most transactional marketing channel, email, to build a relationship with those people. And then your direct booking machine is built. And so you're just going to send people through that machine using meta ads and picking one of the 3 campaign types. And finally, as your fire is roaring, your machine is humming along, you're going to throw some extra juice on it and partner with niche specific influencers focused on hospitality to grow faster than you might be comfortable with.